Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Deborah's Money Journey. Thank you for joining me today. I thought I'd pop on and do a mid-month check-in and share with you how much money I've already allocated in my budget for the month of October and what I'm working on and a couple of changes because I always try to go a little under budget because sometimes things come up I'm not aware of and or I just forget, which is what I did this month. So let's talk about the budget. So for this month, I did budget an income of $11,100. So that is what I plan to work with this month. Okay, so for my fixed expenses, I'm just going to share what I've already spent, and those are the categories that have already been taken care of. All right, so for my rent, I paid $2,885. That is my monthly rent. I am getting close to a 1 year mark, and usually you have to renew your lease. You might have to pay more, which is exactly what's getting ready to happen. My rent is going to be going up in December, and when it does go up, either it's going to go up about $90 if I go into another lease. But guys, I don't want to go into another lease because I really don't want to spend another year where I'm living. There's just things like the AC is not in each of the bedrooms, and it's hot out here, and it was very uncomfortable this season in the summer. So I just can't deal with that. So I'm gonna leave my options open, but I am starting to look actually for another place to live. And because I'm not gonna go into another lease, my rent is probably gonna go up about $200 more a month. So it is what it is, but I'd rather do that than sign up for a 1 year lease, knowing that I don't want to stay here for a year. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so the next bill that I did pay was my electric bill. I budgeted 145, but I paid $121.63. I based the budgeted amount on what I paid last month. So it did go down. It is starting to cool off a little bit, so I don't need to run the AC as much. We have AC in the front of the home, but it's not in the bedroom. So that again is a huge problem. I did get a notification from the electric company stating that they're going to be increasing their prices by 13%. So now I'm going to have more expenses because the rent is going up and the utility bill. We can't win, can we? We just continue to pay more money for everything. All right, fridge rental, that was $45. And then my life insurance was paid $68.95. And then I have cruise deposit. Let me change this. Okay, so this is a new item. I did not discuss this because I forgot about it. But we are having a family reunion next year, and we're actually going to do a cruise. And so everybody's putting their deposits down, and I need to get my deposit in this month. So I plan to pay a deposit of $200. So that's what the 200 is for. I just haven't paid it yet. My goal is to pay that this week and get it out of the way. And then for the cell phones, I will make that payment towards the end of the month because I've already paid for my cell phone for the month of October. Um, so this would cover the end of October to go towards November. So I'm kind of like a month behind, but I still use the money for the upcoming month in the month I'm currently in, if that makes sense. All right, so far I have spent $3,120.58 of my budgeted amount, and so there's $726.41 remaining to spend. Okay, so let's go to my subscriptions. Sirius XM is $7.99. If you notice the $24.98, it's because my 1 year locked in rate ended this month, actually. So I'm gonna have to call Sirius and get them to bring my price back down, which is very annoying, but I'm going to have to do that or else pay 25 a month. And I'm not paying that much for the service. So in the meantime, I just haven't called them yet. And I think when you do call them, you will get a prorated amount. It's still going to be more than the $7.99, but I can get them to drop the price a little bit. On Google memberships, I will pay those towards the end of the month. DoorDash, Microsoft, and then Apple Storage did come out, so that's $9.99. So out of $62.93 in subscriptions, I've actually paid $34.97. So I still have $27.96 remaining in that category. Okay, variable expenses. So for my variable, groceries, I have spent $350. And what I normally do is I will pull the cash out and just use cash to pay for my groceries. I don't know, it just helps me stay on budget better if I have cash, because then I know how much I'm working with and how much I have left over. But so I have 350 remaining. Same with the pet food. I've taken 30 out of the budget, and so I have 20 remaining. Personal, I have taken $70 for myself, so there's 80 remaining in the budget. I did get a car wash, and the car wash was ended up being $46. I got my mats cleaned a little bit, and so that did bring the price up slightly. But $46 is kind of what it is when you do the car wash where it's all done by hand and you don't have to drive through. That is a more expensive car wash. And I wanted to really get my car cleaned, so I did pay the extra money. Laundry, I have $25 as a budget. I spent $14.65. So I have $10.35, which I may end up going over on this amount because I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they have raised the prices even in the laundry room because I've noticed the price, I'm paying more money to get my clothes washed. So again, not surprising, another item that has gone up in price. Okay, eating out, I did withdraw 200 from this budget. So that means I have 200 remaining for birthday. Now, I did add birthday. That was left off when I first did my budget overview. Um, my son, my oldest son, his birthday is in the month of October, and I am going to give him $250. I won't be with him to celebrate it in person, so he can use that or for food, maybe to buy himself something nice. So that'll be for his birthday. And then the water service, no, I haven't paid that yet. So that bill will get paid with my credit card. All right. And then unbudgeted, I set aside $400 for that. And so far I've spent $282. And so if I go here, I've spent the $282 at the beauty supply. I spent $197. And then at Top Golf, which was a um, fun activity for my youngest son for his birthday. We went the first week of October. He paid for this for the packages and the food. Some of the family members pitched in, and then I paid the tip. So $85 was what I paid. All right, so far out of my $2,241.99 budget, I've spent $1,242.65, and I have $999.34 remaining. Okay, so moving on to debt, I budgeted $250 for Discover. I have made a $100 payment. So usually with my credit cards, I make two payments a month. Not all the time, but most of the time I will because I want to make sure that I'm putting a little bit of something for each paycheck I get into my debt payment. So that's what I do. All right, so I have 150 left over to pay towards Discover. Sam's Club, I made a $400 payment. I have a $100 difference. Wells Fargo, I set aside 200, so I've already paid the 200, but I might increase this depending on how my budget looks for paycheck number two. And then Ally credit card, I budgeted $250. I actually paid $284.90, and that credit card is paid in full. I have paid off all of it. So I just miscalculated the amount by $34.90. All right, so for my debt, I budgeted $1,200 and I've already put $984.90 towards debt, and I have $215.10 remaining. That's at least what I budgeted, but I'm hoping to pay a little more for my debt. Okay, my investments. So Vanguard, I budgeted 150. So for Vanguard, I budgeted 150. I have sent $50 to that account. SoFi, I've sent 50 to SoFi. Fidelity, nothing yet. And One Finance 50, and then SoFi IRA, I sent 25. So out of a $1,025 budget, I have actually invested $175. And so that is an $850 difference. Okay, for savings, I have not transferred the money to my savings account. So I'm still going to be hopefully saving $700 for my sinking funds. I'm going to be putting 500 towards savings challenges, 755 towards sinking funds. Now, some of the money I've already allocated. It's just, again, anything to do with savings and sinking funds. I will fully track all of that at the end of the month and give you my totals for that. All right, so my budget so far, I am slated to spend. Well, actually, let me go up to birthday because I did make a mistake. Let me go to birthday. I need to put 250 here because I had it at zero because that's going to change the amount. All right. So if we go to budget, I am planning to spend $10,581.91. And then so far I have spent $5,523.13, and my difference is $5,058.78. That is what I have remaining to spend for the rest of the month. So I'm still looking good because my total budget is $10,581, and I had an income that I am budgeting of $11,100. And so with the income I have budgeted and the amount of money I plan to spend, I still have about $500 to kind of wiggle room to play with, which is still good because, again, things do come up. You never know. So I'm hoping that if I have a little extra, that money will go to my savings account or investment accounts. This month is going very well. I am happy with my progress this month. I feel like I'm going to stay on budget, and I'll actually have some rollover money, which will be great moving into November. But that's my budget, guys. I'm doing good for the month of October. How is your budget going? Is everything going according to plan, or did you have to pivot? Sometimes we do have to pivot. We have to make some adjustments, and it's okay. Just put it in the budget, make the changes you need, and move forward. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate you all for stopping by. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you again in the next video.